Yeah, we have a
quiz.
game.
Yeah.
Tell me about our game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took some questions, some Catholic related questions, and we're gonna try to answer them. So it's A, B, C, and D. We
Okay.
have choice.
That's good. 4 choice.
Yeah. And one of them is the answer.
Probably.
Hopefully.
We hope. It's an answer.
So if I go there, I have my sheet, and I think on your
Yeah.
phone you have yours.
I do.
So I think for question number 1, I have the answer. So you're reading the question number 1 to yourself. So you're reading out loud the question now.
Okay, so I'm reading myself the question that I'll
Yep.
answer. So my question is, who is the patron saint of the United States? So it's either A, St. Christopher, B, St. Catherine Drexel, C, St. Brendan the Navigator, or D, Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception. So it'd be Mary under the name of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception. And that would be, I'm very, very confident that is D.
Yeah,
It's-
it
it's
is.
Immaculate
It is.
Conception.
Yeah. Should we pause and let them, or just they can pause? Okay. So
Oops,
just
go
say-
back in time and pause the video and answer.
Just yeah.
Did you get D?
Yeah. So yeah, just saying, we're gonna not do a pause like those kids show. Like,
Yeah.
What do you
I'll
think?
just take a skip. I'll just do a slight pause.
Yeah, slight
and
pause.
you can pause your video.
Pause the video. Try to answer by yourself. Maybe comment your answer in the comment below and just try to answer with us.
For all except number 1.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is D, Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception. So there's
Which is why if you go to the National Shrine is Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, which if you've never been to our National Shrine in Washington, D.C., it is
You should.
fantastic, and you should go.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We could do a tour.
field trip.
Ooh,
Yeah.
like podcast field trip.
Yeah, because
Just go there and film everything.
have you been there?
Yeah, I have like 4 times.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
They
it's
have little
very-
niches to Our Lady of all of her different appearances and all of her different apparitions.
Yeah,
So it's really
it's
neat.
amazing. If you're living in the U.S. on the East Coast, you should really, really visit.
Or go in, or even if you're not, buy a ticket, go on a pilgrimage.
Yeah, you live in I don't know, Australia, just take a plane ticket.
Yeah, pilgrimages are an underrated thing. Like go
Yeah.
on a pilgrimage, like
Yeah.
it's a
They're expensive, okay, yeah, depending on where you live,
Yeah,
but
true.
you should.
you can make an adventure of it. We went on a youth group trip one time. So we're here in Richmond, Virginia. We went to one time. We took our youth group on a pilgrimage to the St. Joseph Oratory in Canada. It was
When?
awesome. Like 4 years ago, in 2019, I think.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so we took a road trip, but like,
we should have a talk because we're planning on doing this again.
oh, fantastic! Yeah, another place you should go, St. Joseph Oratory.
Yep, definitely. It's the biggest oratory dedicated to Saint Joseph in the world.
Yep.
So yeah, place to visit. You can spend hours and hours and hours. They're actually, because I went back to Canada like a couple of months ago, 2 months ago maybe, and they're making the oratory bigger.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're like digging under, and it's gonna be beautiful. So yeah, that was the first question. There's an explanation? Okay, no explanation.
Nope, just says that's the answer. All
That's the answer. So
right, so your turn now.
yeah, so which of these saints was the first Christian martyr? I feel like it's easy, but Saint Peter, Saint Stephen, Saint Paul, or Saint George? Pause. Okay. You pause the video. Okay, good. So I think I'd say Saint Stephen. He was stoned to death. I
He
think.
was.
Yeah, I think it was the first one.
Yep.
Was he? Yeah,
He was, yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, Saint Stephen.
Saint Stephen.
First deacon and first martyr. Yeah, his martyrdom is in the Acts of the Apostles, so he's the first one to die. I mean, people had died for the Jewish faith, obviously. I mean, St. John the Baptist was beheaded because
Yeah.
of his proclamation. But he's the first
Jesus-
Christian martyr.
Oh, what about Jesus? Ooh.
Well,
Is Jesus the first martyr?
Well, I feel like he's in a different category. The whole point is that Stephen was the first one to die for faith in Jesus.
Yes. Okay.
So Jesus had faith in himself, obviously, and in his Father, but I think that's a different category. I don't think Jesus is. His martyrdom is of a different level.
We're overthinking.
He laid
it,
down
yeah.
his life for his friends, and there is
Yeah.
no greater love than that. But I think that he gets he's in a completely different, superior, and altogether different category. So the first person to die for faith in Jesus was Saint Stephen.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yep. Go read the story in Acts 6, 7, and 8.
Don't quote that. Yeah. Don't.
No, I quote that. I'm sure about that.
Okay, you're
one.
sure? Okay,
I'm sure
okay.
about that
Do
one.
quote. Yeah, just be in the comment like, no, you're wrong. Just.
No, he's picked as a deacon in Acts 6, and then his the story of his martyrdom is in 7 and 8.
I think you would know. Yeah.
I'm 100% sure. Yeah, I mean, my name is Stephen. I'm a deacon. I have an interest in the subject.
In martyrdom, in being martyr.
I mean, sure.
Why not? We're all called to different things.
I'm interested in it. I mean, I think it's a heroic witness, so I'm interested. I'm not necessarily ready to emulate it. I'm happier that I'm emulating him as a deacon, I suppose, but I think I sincerely hope should it ever be asked of me that I would be half as courageous as he was.
Yeah. Just in. So we all think of like those big moments of like sacrifice. Like if I would be asked to like die for my faith, I would do it. But would you do it every single day? Like in little ways. That's when it counts. Like not only at the end of your life, just like yeah, I would die for Jesus, but like in your everyday life, would you die a little each day for him? Like kill yourself and be more like him each day. I don't know.
Yeah. No, so I heard a great homily one time, and a couple will help me illustrate it, that said we're all poured a cup of martyrdom. Like when you become a Christian, you are poured a cup of martyrdom. Some martyrs have to take it all at once. They have to swig the cup, like St. Stephen had to drink his cup. I mean, Jesus talks about, like, can you drink the cup that I will drink of? And some of his apostles are like, yeah, definitely. And Jesus is like, oh, I don't know. I mean, you will, but you don't know what you're asking. And so, anyway, this priest one time said, we're all poured a cup of martyrdom. Some are asked to drink it all at once. Some are told, today you will drink the whole thing to the bottom. But most of us have to take a sip every day. And there should be some way in which we die to some part of ourselves, to some selfishness, to some part of us that is not Christ-like. And by the end of our life, hopefully, we have drank as much as the heroes that we try to emulate. So, yeah, martyrdom is for all. Some people all at once. Hopefully all of us, if we're doing our job and carrying our cross, in small bits at a time. But, so that's it. I've always thought that was a great illustration. And I think that whole idea of like choosing you, like, there's a Flannery O'Connor book. So Flannery O'Connor, great writer. I think it's, don't quote us, The Violent Bear It Away. But I think, so she has this novel called The Violent Bear It Away, and I'm 99% sure it's in this book. But there's a young man who's discussing basically the faith with an evil version of himself. So it's unclear whether this is like the fallen part of himself or whether this is a demon that he's talking about. But he's kind of, throughout the story, discusses things with this much darker version, this much darker companion. And it's unclear, is it as darker, is his own evil pull, or it's a real demonic nature, but it's always trying to get him to do terrible things. But there's a point where this darker companion says, and I actually think this says rightly, he says, you don't understand, the choice isn't between Jesus and the devil. The choice isn't between Jesus and the devil. The choice is between Jesus and you. Meaning, like, you need to, if you're going to follow Jesus, you're going to have to sacrifice yourself. Are you prepared to do that? And the boy isn't, because he thinks he's picking between Jesus and the devil, which of course is an element of the choice. But really, he's saying that's not what he's going to ask you to give up. He's asking you to give up the parts of yourself you don't want to give up. And the boy is reluctant to do that. But I've always thought that's a great line. Like, the real test isn't between, like, this obvious evil, because we would all say no to that. It's these kind of hidden, selfish parts of ourselves that we prefer and that we keep. Like, oh yeah, I'll give Jesus everything. But not that.
Yeah, like, as human, because we were created for, like, good, right? God is good. And I think it's an heresy thinking that creation is bad. and we're created good, so we all seek good. So we can't make, like you were saying, obvious like evil decisions. Like when we make bad decisions, it's because we think it's a good, but it's not always the best.
Yeah.
Because God is always the best. We think it's good, but we do not always make the best choice. And this is where, like,
Yeah.
not choosing Jesus can lead to other things.
Yeah, just a disordered love causes far more sins than a lack of love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose a disordered love would be a lack of love, and I have to explore that actually more. I'm not sure I believe that now that I said it. But I think, as by and large, I think, at least in my experience, disordered loves, loving something too much or not enough or in the wrong way, causes me way more problems than like just not loving something. Like
Just being like, not partial, but just not caring.
Yeah, apathetic.